What's going on, everybody? Rob here, aka Trev2323. Subscribe, like, and share. GroWatt inverter here, 48-volt battery. If you follow me, you know I got this. But I want to show you why I don't leave it connected, because I do not have enough battery backup to last the whole night for the fish tanks. Those are everything that we're powering right now. Everything we're powering. Okay, I know this says GroWatt backwards. I'm sorry. This is, I got it on my selfie camera so I can see GroWatt, GroWatt. But what I want to show you is the GroWatt itself is plugged into the grid. Okay, make sure it's off. I just turned the GroWatt off right now. I just turned it off. You hear? It's using 614 watts. 614 watts. The GroWatt is off now. I shut it off, but it's using 614 watts to charge the battery. Now we were gone and it is completely dark outside right now. So on the grid, 0.8 kilowatt hours. It ran for 6 hours on the grid. 120 volts. It's 5.2 amps is what it's using right now. 5.2 amps. The low it used from the grid was 386 watts, but the high it used 996 watts. So that right now, with no sun, is connected to the grid. You see the grid is what's charging the battery. So it's using 5 amps and 600 watts to charge this battery because there's no sun. I leave it if we're gonna be out and it's sun, full day of sun. I leave it on so the sun runs all of this. The sun runs all of this, but there's not enough battery storage. So when it's plugged into the grid, it starts using the grid power. But this inverter right here, this all-in-one inverter, does use power. It does use power. So that's why I do not I manually take it off the grid and put it on the grid when the sun goes down and the sun comes up, the sun goes down and the sun comes up, because that battery doesn't hold enough power overnight. Now, if that's a 1 kilowatt hour battery, and I got, you know, this right here, it's using 600 watts right now just to charge that battery right now with no sun out. But these right here, all this right here uses about 300 or 400 watts is about what all this uses right here. Okay, so 300, 400 watts is quite a bit for just fish tanks. And if I had like a 5 kilowatt hour battery or 10 kilowatt hour batteries, the grid will be just for emergency purposes, because after the sun goes down, we'll use the kilowatt hours from the battery. Then if that drains, then it'll connect to the grid. But with that's only like a 1 kilowatt hour battery, so it, after a while, it'll connect to the grid and charge. So we were out a long time when the sun was down, so you see the grid is charging the battery right now. And I'm going to unplug it. This is just for the video. So it's using 608 watts now to charge that battery. 5 amps, 386 watts was the low, 996 watts. And that is a lot. That 996 was when the sun was down, the battery was low, and it was charging the battery, and the fish tanks were on. It's almost 1,000 watts. It's like a heater you're running off of it. Okay, but in full sun, with the GroWatt on and the power is all this, not a problem. But it's when that sun goes down, if you leave it connected to the grid to charge your batteries or just connected, it's gonna use power still. So that's why I don't leave that connected to the grid. Well, at least not until I get enough kilowatt hour of backup storage that it won't ever have to use the grid again. Just a little bit of info on solar power, what I'm finding out as I'm going along with it. I'm getting 2 more panels, so right now I'm just using it to power my tanks. But in the summertime, I'm gonna try to power a 12,000 BTU air conditioner throughout the day with the sun. So then from that, that's a 3,000 watt inverter, 48 volt 3,000 watt inverter, and you could daisy chain them together. I do want to get another one. I bought it for $850. I think they're down to $700 now because this is an older model, but I want the same one since I know how to use and troubleshoot it. I'm not gonna daisy chain them together. I'm gonna have it on a separate breaker and separate things plugged into it, so if you got to troubleshoot it, is not a whole system together. I could either troubleshoot this one or I could troubleshoot this one. Alright, stay tuned, subscribe, like, share. That is my video today on my solar power and my solar inverter, the electricity usage, which is pretty steep if the sun's not there. The sun's there, it's free. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.